Dun, 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 dun. Hey everybody, welcome back to Not So Ordinary Woodworks. Hey everybody, welcome back to Not So Ordinary Woodworks. For another spooky build, we're going to be building a wreath, octagonal wreath for Halloween, made with just simple 1x3s. It's that simple. 22.5 degrees on the miter saw, spray paint, some glue. You could use crown staples, but I'm going to use brad nails, and I guarantee nobody's making them. I guarantee it. Watch the video, you'll see. Go to craft shows. Nobody's making these. Nobody's selling them. You're gonna be the first, besides me, sucker.
Build it simple and build it sweet, so let's get ready for a spooky build treat.
Okay, now we're going to get started with our miter saw, where we're going to make pieces 7 inches from end to end on a miter saw using a 22.5 degree right or left angled cut. We're not going to bevel it, we're just going to miter it. So we got our boards here, and I'm going to do one initial cut at the end to cut off our cheesy end here. Now you can find as much scrap as you can. Yeah, see, this one's broken. So, but I'm gonna use all the scrap wood I can and get as much out of it as I can. So let me turn on my vacuum. Mask up. Okay, so what we got here, we got our miter saw. Right now we're at 0. We're going to take our board. We're going to cut off the end, which I've already done, just to square it out and make sure that you have a nice flush end to start with. Now what you're going to do is you're going to set your table saw to 22.5 degrees, right, lock it in, and you're going to just put your end of the board where the blade meets the point. Okay, so that's the first cut. Vacuum, mask. Always protect your lungs, even though I'm outside. Okay, so I got my first initial cut at 22.5 degrees. You can do 6, you can do 7, you can do 8. I've tested it. 7 is the sweet spot I found. So I'm going to do 7 inch from point to point. But after you do your initial cut, you're going to flip the board over. Okay, you're going to flip the board over. So make sure that your mark is on the side where the point is facing the fence. Point to the fence, your longest point. And then you're going to make your 7 inch mark there or there. Okay, we're going to line it up to where my long point is coming to the end of the saw. But what we're going to do is we're going to set up a stop block, and what I did is I already cut out a piece, labeled it 7 inches, and I'm going to put that up here so that we get accurate cuts. So we're lined up, we know where we need to be, we know where our board is against the fence. We're going to take our stop block, make sure it's locked in there. Make sure I'm against the fence when you're tightening it. Make sure this is nice and tight. You don't want it to fly out at you. Okay, are we tight? Yeah, give it a little wiggle. Okay, now it's very important when you're doing this to make sure that your saw blade comes to a complete stop, because we have a block now, a stop block. Remember, 2 pieces can get wedged in between the stop block and the blade, and if you pull up, these teeth could cause it to kick out on you, and you don't want that. So you want to start your saw on, make your cut, let it rest until it comes to a complete stop. Complete stop. Now I lift up. I got my piece. First piece, label 1. You're going to take your board, you're going to turn it over to where the point is facing the fence again. Let me lock that in. Just want to make sure I don't hit it. We're going to push it up against our stock block, and we're going to repeat the process 8 times. So this is board number 2. I got board number 1, 8 times. Remember, let it come to a complete stop. Lift up your blade. Piece 2. Mask up. Goggles on. I didn't need the sound effects, but it sounded cooler. Mask up. Always put your mask up. Actually, I'm gonna do my mask. Make sure it's nice and tight. Because again, always wear some kind of PPE or mask, even if you're outside. You don't have to. A lot of people don't. I like to. Your lungs will thank you. So, I'm gonna put my goggles on and look weird for a minute while I'm doing these cuts with you, because I don't want my eyes burning later tonight. So remember, flip the board over. Now here, we got a knot. Let's see if that knot's gonna be a factor. It is. Okay, so now we have a problem here. We have a large, huge knot right in the middle of our cutting area. Some people would like to use that. That's very loose, and what it can do is it can cause the wood to explode. Not like explosion explode, but it'll break apart and a million pieces can go in your eye and your skin. It's best to avoid it. So I'm gonna go on to my next piece, which also has a knot. The downsides to working with pine, but this was all free wood for me that I got on Marketplace. So it's just scrap laying around in my little pile I got. So I'm gonna use it. I'm up to my stop block here, point to point, large point to large point. Turn on my vacuum. Check both sides to make sure there's no nails, brad nails, crown nails, you name it, screws. Always check your wood if you get scrap wood online. Letting this all come to a stop. See how it lifted up with the blade? You don't want that to happen while it's running. All right, so I have 3 so far. We're gonna need 5 more, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay. I don't do a good Denzel, but okay. Take this off. It's so hot right now. Whew. It's only 98. Okay, so now we got our 8 pieces. What we need to do is we're gonna kind of measure them up, make sure that they fit together. It's nice. It's a nice. So I'm gonna 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4, 5 5. I label these so I know when I'm gonna glue them, which ends go to where. 7 7, and 8 and 8. move them aside. Just kind of start, do one at a time. Now, you want to get something straight. So at least I know the board, even if there's a little bow in it, it's better than the table. It's got so many bumps and snags with it. As you can see, I use these for other projects. So for now, we're going to use it for this. All right, so we got one going to one, boom. So we're going to get some glue. Titebond 3, I recommend it. I use it for all my projects because I don't know if it's going to go outside or not. It's rated food safe, even though I don't eat on it. But it's great for water adhesion, and its assembly and dry times are pretty good. All right. So I got my 18 gauge brad nailer. You can use a stapler if you want to. If you're going to use the stapler instead of a brad nailer, I recommend 18 gauge, 1 inch or a 1/4 inch crown, 1 inch staples. Now I am not going to sand this project. You could, but it's a Halloween project, so I don't want it to look glossy, perfect. Flaws are good in Halloween projects. All right, so now we got our pieces. I'm gonna hit it with some Titebond. Rub it in. Now don't worry about the glue. You can sand the project afterwards if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but so we're gonna flush our pieces up right here. We're gonna turn it. I have 1 inch brad nails going in, which I might change to 1.5 inch, which we're going to. So actually we're gonna do 1.25 inch. You don't have to use brad nail. You can glue it, tape it, let it dry, then come back with the brad nails. So I'm going to watch your fingers. I've had that happen. It was not fun. Brad nail right through the finger. And if you mess up, you can always pull them apart and redo it. Don't freak out if it's not perfect. It's a Halloween project. It's not going to the Pope. All right, so we got our second piece. Make sure 2 is going to 2. 2 is going to 2. Add a little glue. I'm not going to do the stupid song that you hear all the time because it's not my song. Although I do think it's catchy. And good on you for that. Alright, so got my glue going, got my piece set, got it lined up. I'm gonna turn it. I'm just nervous that it's gonna go into my freaking hand. Drive one in sideways. Worked out good. Sometimes when you're dealing with softer woods, the brad nails, they don't like it. For some reason, they like to just go through it. So I drove one in on an angle on the back. No one's gonna see the back. Okay, and then again, we just keep going. All right, we got our piece brad nailed, tacked in. Also, what I found to be helpful along the way is if you notice your piece is moving, throw some, when you push down on it to butt them up to make sure that they're flush, put a piece of painter's tape until it dries up. That'll definitely help. You could sand it to get it perfect. I'm not. That's ridiculous. It's Halloween. And then I'm gonna, one coat, ends in. Again, you could spray paint it whatever color you want. You could stain it. You could sand it, make it a nice walnutty wreath if you want to. I'm going with black to stick with the Halloween theme. All right, so we got our first coat on. Let that dry for about 10 minutes or so. Come back, turn it over, backside, hitting the ends and the inside again. Turn it over, do a second coat, and we're done. So as you can see, it's also a very simple project. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much material. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It's super simple, yet nobody's making them. I try to understand the market. You know, I go on Etsy, I go on Shopify, and the projects I make aren't on there. They sell pretty good for me, and I hope they sell very well for you, which I'm confident they will. Full disclaimer, so you can't yell at me later. Man, it didn't down, man. Yeah, well, you gotta work on your sales technique then, I guess. I don't know. All right, so we got our backside spray painted. We're gonna let that dry for about 10-15 minutes. Using the Rust-Oleum paint and primer gloss indoor outdoor. It's like $7 at Home Depot. You can use whatever paint you want. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Rust-Oleum. I like Rust-Oleum's brand. It seems to dry the best and gives you the best results. We're back after I let it dry for a little bit. I think it turned out really nice. All right. Well, I appreciate you joining me on that build. As you can see, this is before on one of them. And this is what they will turn out to be once you decorate it. So, you know, most of this stuff came from the dollar store, but you can put whatever you want on it. It doesn't matter. I find it's cheaper to go to the dollar store just because, I mean, they have a lot of nice stuff there and it's cheap, you know. So, again, I sell these all day long, $35, $40. It all depends on the area, but people eat them up. They love them. They can't get enough of them. It's simple. It was easy. You know, you can put hangers on the back if you want to, or you can, you know, just have, or you can have one of those hooks that hooks onto it, a wreath hook. They also sell those at the dollar store too. So if you want to buy a few of them and bring them to the show, you could sell those for like an extra, you know, $2, $3, whatever, because you're making it convenient for them. They don't have to go to the store and buy it. And if you like, hit that not the scribe. If you like, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll try to answer the best I can. And hopefully we'll see you soon for the next build. Thanks again for having me. Thanks again for staying tuned. Thanks again for watching. Bye now.
Thank you for watching Not So Ordinary Woodworks. So come on back for another spooky